and welcome back to 10 out of 10 Woods Watch Again with Lauren and Ross.
Hello.
This week, as promised, is a wee cheeky bonus episode because we were a week late. Also, in pop culture news, happy 2-year anniversary to Barbenheimer.
That's stunning.
I don't know if any of you did it. We did it. It was a fucking bizarre, long day.
It was a very long day, aye.
It was good, but it was long.
Oh, aye.
So anyway, this week we are bringing you the absolute belter, Primal Fear. Ross, hit me with your pitch.
Right, so it was released in April 1996, directed by Gregory Hoblet. What a name, by the way. Starring Richard Gere, Laura Linney, John Mahoney, Frances McDormand, Edward Norton, Maura Tierney and big Andre Braugher, plus many, many, many more.
Oh, aye, we're going to get into that later on. Like,
Yeah.
this is a pure cast of TV, that, guys. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck aye. With a budget of 30 million and a box office of 102 million with a runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Chef's kiss.
Stunning.
General overview. A boy is found covered in blood after the murder of an archbishop, but is adamant he didn't do it. Richard Gere is the hotshot lawyer who has to find out what happened.
Madness ensues.
I was trying to do one this week where I wasn't like, chaos ensues. I was trying to get a bit more serious, you know?
Nah, fair enough. I'll give you that one. Didn't walk go, but cool.
Yeah. Get fucked. So, we'll just dive into thoughts and opinions. We stuck the trailer of this movie on before we watched it because I've seen the film loads of times, but I don't think I've ever seen the trailer. And the trailer makes this movie look like such a cheesy Channel 5 like law drama and really undersells how good this movie actually is.
It doesn't show you anything about this movie.
No. Yeah, like everything you see in the trailer, you're like, okay.
Yeah. And another thing I want to say is, obviously with the new like modern Ultra HD TVs and that, it looks weird watching movies for the 90s.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, everything seems a bit hazy.
Yeah, like it ages this movie horrifically.
Yeah. No, I totally get you. It's like, we all know 28 Days Later wasn't filmed in like high HD shit and all that, but I feel like the more HD tellies are getting, the more unwatchable 28 Days Later is. And that sounds awful because that is such a good film. And obviously we have done an episode on it, and we've probably spoken about this in the episode as well. But it's getting harder to watch some things, do you know what I mean? But that's just us being snobs, do you know what I mean?
To be fair, I suppose we did watch the DVD version as well.
Yeah.
The DVD's like fucking 20-year-old or something.
The DVD I have is from my sister's old house and I think she's had that fucking DVD since the 90s, do you know what I mean?
It wouldn't surprise me, aye.
When do you think was the first time you watched this film?
It's got to have been in the house. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't remember the first time I seen it, but I just know I love this movie.
Yeah. See, Lee had given me, funnily enough, the DVD. She gave me that when I used to go stay at my nanny's on a Friday, and she was like, watch this. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like that. I'm honestly couldn't have been older than like 16.
Yeah.
And she was like, just watch it. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to like it. And she was like, fucking watch it. And I sat myself watching this movie at like 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and I was like, what the fuck? And obviously, I don't want to throw out any spoilers, but if you are listening to this episode and you've not seen the film, fucking shame on you. Go and watch the film and then come back, right? But I'll try not to throw out as many spoilers as you want, but when you get to the first of the twists of this movie, I remember, like, do you know what I mean? I was, like, dozing, and then I sat up and was like, what the fuck is this? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's just like a pure slap in the face. Like, it's crazy how well they've made this.
Absolutely. And do you know that way, this is one of the few twists in movies that, like, it gets better the more you watch it because you can notice more things. Like, it's kind of up there with, and I know how you feel about Sixth Sense, but it's like, it's that I see dead people, that twist. Yeah. And then when you go back and watch Sixth Sense a couple of times, you're like, oh. Yeah. Like that, I know you don't like it, but like that kind of vibe, do you know what I mean?
Stuff like that, though, it helps the movie plus hinders it.
I get what you mean.
Like, we'll get into it as it comes, because I've got some thoughts and opinions on it, funnily enough.
Right, cool. Right, we'll save the chat about twists for the twist, right? Right, anyway, so we'll stick mainly to the plot and a couple of tangents, and we'll talk about the performances at the end of thoughts and opinions, because again, I don't want to get too deep into it at the very start and then be like, well, that's that done. Do you know what I mean?
No point in spoiling it in the first fucking 5 minutes.
Aye, isn't it? But again, if you've not seen this movie, fucking shame on you.
Aye, just go and watch it now. 2 hours, 10 minutes of your time, then come back and listen.
Don't annoy me. So we start off the movie, we meet Martin Vale, played by Richard Gere, who is this smug as fuck lawyer, giving it the biggin on how being a lawyer means that he gets to give his version of the truth. And within about 2 minutes, you're like, he's one of the ones, like just pure scumbag, but arrogant about it. Like, he'll basically do anything he can to make sure his client gets off. And the more he talks, you're just like, ugh, shit face. Like,
he's just so full of himself, arsehole.
100%. Like, we also see later on in the film, he basically takes bribes from the state attorney to, like, get his client off in a plea. Like, because he gets paid by commission. It's something like they give his client, like, what, $1.5 million or something?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll think about it. And they're like 40% commission and you're going to turn your nose up at that. And he's like, well, you know. And the guys are like, you're worse than the scumbags that you... So you get the vibe, do you know what I mean? Very quickly that Richard Gere's a bit of a prick. Richard Gere mostly plays pricks in movies, do you know what I mean? Like, I like Richard Gere, but there is something about him that I'm just like, oh, see if it came out that he's just a pure mad shagger and he's got like 27 Waynes all over the shop. Like, I would believe it.
Oh, no, I fully believe that.
Like, him and Michael Douglas suffer from that same kind of face. I think it's the hair. I think the more coiffed the hair is, the more much an arsehole you look. And that's my hot take this episode, guys.
I'll fucking end it there, that's it. No, Richard Gere, like, see whenever he's a prick's prick.
Aye.
Like, there's no other. See if you're as successful as him and being in as much shit as him, like, you're going to be a smarmy cunt.
I'd be a smarmy cunt, 100%.
You can't help it.
And I like, see, as much as I'm pure bitching about Richard Gere, I like a lot of Richard Gere's movies. Although, tangent number one, right? Do you remember when we got that scratch off poster of like 100 movies to watch, and it was like Haiku's Journey or something, and it's a Richard Gere movie about a Doug, and I was like, of all the Richard Gere movies, you're sticking in the Doug film. We still never watched it, but like,
we watched all the ones and I go to the shiters ones with no saying like, let's just bin this poster.
Aye, 100%.
I can't be bored anymore.
All the movies that were left, we were like, I don't fancy them at all.
Yeah.
Like,
didn't know anything about them. I was just like, nah, I still don't fancy it. Bin this.
Totally.
You're right, fuck.
This movie is such a cast of TV that, guys.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Normally you get like, oh, I know him for something, I know him. This is just everybody for TV. You've got Abby for ER, Marty from Frasier, Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Manny from Scarface. The judge is, I could not find her name.
Alfred Woodward, or Woodard, her name is.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
So she's she's been in Hunters, but what I remember her from is she was, I want to say it was like Desperate Housewives
she was in
season
Desperate
3.
Housewives, yeah.
She was the one that kept her son in the basement and all
Yeah,
that. She was a pure creep. Ugly Betty's dad's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Your man for Lost is in it. Like, this is pure, like, big TV guys. But I was like, what the fuck are you doing in this film? Do you know what I mean? I love when Maura Tierney shows up and stuff. You're like, oh, it's Abby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wonder, obviously we've been going through here. Would she have been in ER this time?
Oh,
96? Aye.
96.
I get my dates confused.
No. Sorry, while you were talking, I was just quickly Googling that. She joined in November of 1999.
So, because obviously Andre Brower, big Captain Holt, he wouldn't have been obviously Captain Holt at the time.
He's just a wee that guy.
So they all went, a lot of them went on to have like big TV careers then?
Yeah.
Okay. See, when we were watching this, I was sitting as I thought she would have been in it. I just dawned on me there. I was like, fuck, maybe she was there in this.
Frasier came out in 1993. That's how long Frasier was going. So, like, obviously Marty Crane, which, I'm sorry, right? I understand his character in this movie is not Marty Crane, but I will be referring to him as Marty Crane this entire episode.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, he'd have already been established, like, him and Eddie, do you know what I mean? Like, so that's how, like, in this movie, Marty Crane is so good, and he's a menacing bastard, do you know what I mean? And I feel like, I know we said the same thing about Liam Cunningham last week, but there's been a couple of things that Marty Crane's played the bad guy in where I'm like, aye, cool. It's like Red from that 70s show when he's the bad guy in RoboCop and all that. And you're like, that's fucking Red.
No, wait. Oh, yes. No, mind.
Aye, get it up you.
He's not the fucking...
Fucking question me, you
Aye,
arsehole.
no, mind.
Question me, you prick.
Do you know what annoys me?
Uh-huh.
That dog used to get paid hundreds of thousands a year. That fucking dog.
And we're sitting there.
Sitting with two fucking idiot cats. No making a penny.
The cats are bringing fuck all into this house.
Get a job.
Go get on telly. Anyway, so we then go on to meet Laura Linney. Laura Linney, Richard Gere, and Marty Crane are at the Archbishop's fundraiser. We see the choir, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, and it's like a fundraiser for one of the bishop's many charities.
Yeah.
Laura Linney, she's given Richard Gere a pure hard time. Their chemistry in this movie is really, really good. Like, I think you really buy it, like, immediately.
You get the feeling of that there's history there.
100%, because I do feel like sometimes it takes you a minute to be like, what's happening here? But the two of them immediately, they're giving it to each other back and forth. Laura Linney, now, I thought Laura Linney had basically made a career off of playing lawyers, right? I looked it up, she's only played a lawyer 4 times. She just gives big lawyer energy, do you know what I mean?
She was in that one, was it The Big C she was in?
Wire in.
I'm sure it was that. That's the first thing I seen her in, but it wasn't even a...
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch it religiously, she just appeared on it.
Yeah. I just feel like, I thought that was all Laura Linney played was lawyers, but apparently she's only done it 4 times. She's just very good at it, do you know what I mean?
She's got the face. Like, she can be really... What's the word?
Stern.
Really stern and, like, quite cutting. Like, she's good at that.
Yeah. And in this one, she's like a chain-smoking lawyer. And I was trying to look up how many cigarettes she smoked in this movie, and nobody could give me a definite number. But, my God, every time that woman's on the screen, she's having at least 2. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that must have been a hard day. I hope she does smoke in real life.
I know, like, oh, this is terrible. And you know she's rich because she's smoking the massive bingo snout, taking like 3 draws and throwing it away. I'm like, excuse me, I know it was the 90s and cigarettes probably cost like £3, you know what I mean? But still, like, anyway, so they all have their wee tete-a-tete. Basically, chemistry set up immediately. Then the next day, we basically find out that the Archbishop's been murdered brutally. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God. Who's going to solve this one?
But we see a wee guy on the run, and of course, Richard Gere's in a bar watching it on telly, phoning up Maura Tierney, being like, get us on this case. This is a high publicity case. I'm going to take the money. I'm going to take the fame. I'm going to, like... So he's not going into this with good intentions at all. This is then where we meet Aaron Stampler, played perfectly by Edward Norton.
Yeah.
But I'm saving my Edward Norton speech for later on, because I could go on. So Aaron is an altar boy for the Archbishop and is fully like, no, I would never do anything. Like, he was a father to me, but, like, stammers, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to offend the stuttering community.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So Aaron's story, now bear in mind, Aaron is caught running away from the scene in a train track, covered in blood, like shaking. It's looking pretty fucking obvious it's him.
Yeah.
But he's saying that he went to return a book to the Archbishop and a third man was there. And then he blacked out, lost time, woke up covered in the bishop's blood and was like, fuck, I need to boost, and ran. Nobody's buying it. No one's buying it.
One of the worst lies you can, like, think of, like, is utter bullshit.
100%. Like, the third man trope gets slagged and everything. Like, oh, is that right? Aye.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But, like, no one's buying it. It's so fucking obvious that it looks like Aaron Stampler's done it.
Yeah.
And even Richard Gere, when he meets Aaron Stampler, is like, I don't care if you did it or if you didn't do it. Like, you speak to no one. You only speak to me. And Aaron's like, no, I'm innocent. Don't care, mate. Don't care. So you're like, right, Camden. Also, side note, Apparently, Aaron's stammer was ad-libbed by Edward Norton. Like, nothing about that was in the script. He just made that up.
It does work because...
It adds to his kind of innocence, naive vibe.
Yeah, like, his character, especially with the stammer, it's like, he's just very... Like, you just feel sorry for him.
He's dead meek.
Yeah.
And, like, his backstory's obviously he's from, like, a wee small town and all this kind of stuff. Like, he is given, like, a deer in headlights kind of vibes. Like,
Yeah, he just looks lost, like, all the time.
Into it. So you do feel sorry for him, do you know what I mean? Laura Linney then gets assigned as the prosecution.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of me going, is that right? Because with law dramas, I'm like, So she gets assigned as the prosecution, and Marty Crane, the state attorney, is already like, I want the fucking death penalty.
Yeah.
Like, the Archbishop was a good friend of mine. He was a really important guy. Get this guy to fuck, basically. And Laura Linney's like, But basically, like, no one's fucking about here. They're like, this is the trial of, like, the century. What the fuck happened? Richard Gere's basically rubbing his hands, loving it, right?
Yeah, especially with the death of an archbishop. Like, it's big news.
100%. So they go through, like, the hearing of the... That's what it is, the first part, isn't it? The hearing of the charges.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And Richard Gere is like, stop asking my client questions. Nothing's being answered until he gets a full psychological evaluation. Everyone's like, cool. But we'll see where you're going, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Laura Linney's getting heavy pissed off with it. She's like, he's going to object to when I have the murder weapon. And Richard Gere's like, well, no, you say it.
I mean, that's just pure defence lawyer 101, isn't
100%.
Just try and clog up as much, like, nonsense as you can.
100%. So to any defence lawyers that may perhaps be listening, let us know.
You need to have very, like, loose morals to do that.
Aye, it looks it.
Especially the way it seems with Richard Gere's character, because he's dodgy people.
He's doing it for the money and the fame, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not doing it out of any, like, place of good, do you know what I
No,
mean?
far from it.
So, Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, honestly, I should have written down characters' actual names, but I'm just like, there's Captain Holt.
Oh, it's what they're well known for.
Vindication! So, he's Richard Gere's assistant, and he goes to Aaron's apartment to try and find any type of evidence to back up this third man story, because basically they've got nothing.
Yeah.
And when he's rummaging about, this like random guy leaps out and jumps Captain Holt, but in the scuffle, Captain Holt manages to rip out his like jazzy earring. So Richard Gere takes the earring to Aaron and is like, who do you know that wears this?
Yeah.
And basically Aaron's like, it belongs to Alex. He's another altar boy. Why is he in my house? And Richard Gere's like, well, there's your fucking third man, right? Hunt this guy down. Like, they're clinging to anything at this point. So Richard Gere also ropes in Frances McDormand, who plays the psychiatrist. But they're like, oh, you're not a forensic psychiatrist. Fucking just shut up. Like, leave it alone. It's Frances McDormand.
It's just trying to discredit her anyway, isn't it? That's the part of a good argument.
Isn't it? So basically her job is to find out why Aaron's blacking out, why Aaron's losing time. Is it a psychological thing? Is it a neurological thing? What's happening? And also, 10 points to me for hitting it with all the big words. She then starts asking about Aaron's backstory. And if you find out, like, his mother's dead, he was abused by his dad. She asks about Linda, who is Aaron's girlfriend, or who Aaron says is his girlfriend. Yeah. And this is where we get a couple of side eyes from Aaron. This is where he starts, like, there's a lot of head rubbing, there's a lot of, like, eye twitching, and you're like, what the fuck's up with this guy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he looks very uneasy when Frances McDormand starts talking about Linda.
Yeah. So something's afoot, do you know what I mean? Something's not quite right here. So while this is all going on, Richard Gere does some digging into the Archbishop to try and find anything that will besmirch him, basically, and get his client off. And he finds out that basically the Archbishop has been running these like dodgy charities. The church bought up all of the land surrounding the church and they were going to turn it into like housing estates or something like that.
Luxury condos.
Yeah. And basically that all fell through and a number of the investors lost a shit ton of money. $60 million.
Yeah, that kind of ties in with like a wee side story going on.
Yeah.
With the dude for Scarface.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've not really added in a lot of the side story because I was like, this is already going to be a long boy.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
that only really affects this part anyway.
Yeah.
But one of the side stories in this movie is Richard Gere is also the lawyer for Manny from Scarface.
And Ugly Betty's dad.
Yes. And they own the land next to the church.
Yeah, they're kind of gangsters. Like,
Yeah.
it's not said explicitly, but they're kind of gangsters.
Yeah,
do you know
like
what I mean?
they can afford $1.5 million and that, like, it's fine.
Aye,
Like, we
you're
know
grand.
that we know they're dodgy, but the Archbishop's trying to buy land off them and they're refusing to sell. So there's a whole thing about, oh well, like they're dodgy, we're going to try and get them arrested and buy it cheap.
Yeah.
Where obviously Richard Gere's keeping him out of prison and doing other deals. There's a part with it when he's saying $1.5 million and he's he needs to leave the state as well. So it basically gives the church and the Archbishop like the money and that to do it.
Yeah, basically, and like you then find out later on that Manny from Scarface gets shot so that like they're going to get the land anyway. I kind of kept the side story out because it's extra complication for like we're focusing on the trial, do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the kind of backstory.
That's kind of the only bit that Manny and that are useful for.
Yeah. Oh no, like I mean this in a place I love. They could have been cut from this movie like immediately.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
100%.
if you wanted to make this an hour 40, an hour and a half, you could have cut out their side story. We also basically find out that one of the main investors is Marty Crane himself.
Yeah.
So the state attorney and the archbishop are dodgy bastards and they're in with these gangsters trying to fuck over these gangsters to get the land surrounding the church.
Yeah, the last bit before they can like fling up these houses.
Basically. So Marty Crane takes Richard Gere out for dinner and Richard Gere's like, what am I here for? Like, and Marty Crane's like, well, I know you've been looking at the Archbishop stuff. Like, don't fuck with me. Like, some of the most powerful people in the world are invested with this guy. Sit the fuck down.
Yeah. Focus
on what you need to do rather than getting involved. So Richard Gere's like, right, cool. So yous are heavy riled up. So I'm onto something here.
And then after the dinner scene, then becomes the first day of the trial.
Yeah, that's when we find out how brutal the Archbishop's murder was. He's stabbed 78 times, fingers have been chopped off, eyes have been stabbed, the works, and numbers have been slashed on his stomach. Richard Gere's trying to hit them with the third man trope, and they're all like, no, there's no proof, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He's like, aye, but yous can't prove that there wasn't. And I suppose that is the point of a lawyer, do you know what I mean? Like, defense lawyer anyway, like, they're trying to prove is basically just poo-pooing whatever the other guy says. Do you know what I mean? Like, his whole argument is, well, you don't know that there wasn't. And they're like, well, you don't know whether there was. Like,
it just depends. I mean, what is it? Over there, is it guilty until proven innocent? That's what they say.
well,
And over here, it's like innocent until proven guilty. So not only is it up to the prosecution to prove that he done it, it's up to the defence to prove that he didn't do it.
yeah.
But that whole like, oh, but that's it. That must be infuriating.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
Oh, there could have been another person, is it? But there wasn't.
This is why you and me, it's a good thing that we're not lawyers because we'd have been like, when did he, didn't he? Shut up, you arsehole. We find out that the symbols carved into the Archbishop's chest is the code to the book, The Scarlet Letter, in the Archbishop's private library.
Yeah.
And in that book, there's a passage underlined, and I'm paraphrasing here, Trips, but it basically says, stop being a two-faced arsehole or something bad's going to happen to you. So everyone's like, well, this passage is underlined and carved into his chest, therefore, pretty obvious like that you've done it, Aaron. And Aaron's like, no, not me. Like,
That's a bit of a stretch to think, because that line, is it you done it? Is it how?
I into it. At this point, but Richard Gere is quaking in his boots. They don't have a third man. They don't have any evidence to prove that Aaron didn't do it. But this is where Richard Gere's starting to turn, and he's like, I really don't think he did it. I think Aaron's innocent. Like, we need to find something here because I'm not about to send an innocent man to jail. And you're like, no, Richard Gere, you're not at all arsehole after all, eh?
No, he just knew. Like, this would have made his career.
Oh, 100%. So Aaron gets sent back in with the psychologist to talk a bit more about Linda, about his relationship with Linda, his relationship to the Archbishop, anything kind of what's happening here. And this is where Aaron starts complaining about having a sore head and the camera's beeping and you can see he's a bit overstimulation station. And Frances McDormand will go, oh, I'll fix the camera. And you get this like venomous look. And Aaron looks up at the camera with this really venomous side eye and is like, how the fuck should I know? And everyone's like, oop, what's going on there? And it's like, oh my God, like he's got like hidden anger issues or something. Like he fucking did it. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, wait, what? What happened there? So my wee ears are pricked up. I'm like, sorry, come again? What?
Yeah, it's the first like little insight into Edward Norton here.
Yeah.
Oh, so fucking good, man.
Yeah. Ross, I'm trying to talk about it. So Richard Gere and Captain Holt, they're still on the hunt for this third man because Gere is fucking adamant that Aaron didn't do it. Adamant. So they finally find Alec, the boy who jumped Captain Holt and they stole the earring from. And Alec basically admits to them that there's a videotape in the Archbishop's files, which is basically the Archbishop making certain types of home movies, including Aaron, Alec, and Linda.
Yeah.
And if they can find that, that's motive, basically. So Richard Gere goes, gets the tape. He's like, fuck, what'd I do? They can admit it as evidence this late in. So they send it to Laura Linney, because then she's going to have to admit it in as motive for why Aaron did it. Which is then, she's raging when she gets sent this tape because she's like, you motherfucker. Because if she shows the tape, she's then going to piss off Marty Crane, the state attorney, because he's already said the Catholic Church isn't on trial here. Don't do anything about this kind of stuff. But this is also concrete evidence of what could be seen as a motive for Aaron to murder the Archbishop. So she's like, I need to use it, but I don't want to use it. And Richard Gere's smug as fuck face. Honestly, if I was Laura Linney, I'd have knocked him out, man.
Oh, it's smart because as he says in it, all you need is one person.
Yep.
To not but like believe he's done this, and that's it, done. Like he's won essentially. I know it's not as simple as that, but one person in the jury, and it's so clever how he's done that.
It's like he says, like, all they need is reasonable doubt. Yeah. So, like, you're not really getting your client off as innocent, but he's not fucking getting the death penalty. It's so mad, this line they walk. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Ross, sit down. We're at the bit. The bit. So, Richard Gere goes barging into the meeting room where Aaron is with Frances McDormand. He turns the camera off and he's like, you motherfucker, you're lying to me. You're not telling me everything. What's going on? There's no third man. I've seen the tape. I know what Linda's doing. You're fucking lying. You fucking did it, right? Really getting in Edward Norton's face.
Yeah.
And Edward Norton starts doing the whole head thing and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Then Edward Norton, this is chills every fucking time. Edward Norton starts banging his head off the brick wall and then turns round and is like, who the fuck are you? Who are you screaming at? Not one stutter. Starts pushing Richard Gere against the wall and is like, fucking wrap your shit. Why are you coming at me like this? And Richard Gere's like, what the fuck is going on? And Richard Gere's like, oh, Aaron, calm down. And he's like, Aaron's away crying. Who the fuck are you? I'm Roy. So this is where we get that Aaron has a split personality called Roy. Roy is basically, because Aaron, Frances McDormand explains it later on, but because Aaron is so traumatized from his childhood, from abuse from the Archbishop, he's basically created this other personality who will deal with everything for him.
Yeah.
And Roy is just straight up fucking admitting it. He's like, yep, I murdered the Archbishop. Linda was a cow. Like, hey, I've fucking done this. I've done that. And Richard Gere's like, and it's fucking insane. Like, I remember the first time I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Turns the movie on its head.
Absolutely. Because you think you're going one way.
Yeah. The first time watching this, you're just fully expecting a third person
Yes.
if he's going to get off.
Yes.
But what I love about this scene is, like, you see Richard Gere, like, the fear in that at the beginning, then kind of as he's talking to Roy, he's like, what a revelation to just open up this whole case.
100%. 100%.
Like, you see it in his face. It's as soon as Frances McDormand, because she's outside when this happens, and she sees that he's turned and comes in, and he's like, no, wait a minute. He's just saying, this is fucking gold.
Yeah. Richard Gere starts asking Roy the questions and is like, we've seen the tape, and this flies Roy off again. Roy's like, you can't fucking show that videotape. I told Aaron to get the tape. Now this is fucking motive. You better fucking... And he's like giving it all the expletives and like really asserting dominance. It is just night and day of like meek, stuttering Aaron to aggressive, assertive, dominant Roy, who is taking no fucking shit and has Richard Gere pinned against a wall.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
He flings him about like a cheap jacket.
Did he? And then he like falls to the floor, holds his head, and then it's like Aaron's back, and he's like, what happened? So Frances McDormand explains all of this to Richard Gere, that this is multiple personality disorder because of trauma, and this is why he's losing time. But Richard Gere's like, I can't change the plea to insanity halfway through a fucking trial. Yeah. So Richard Gere now has to figure out how to expose this without it becoming a farce, basically.
If he was to change it, plea to insanity now, it just wouldn't fly.
Yeah.
I even say it was that'd be my career over. It would seem like just such a cheap last-ditch attempt. Even if it is, at this stage, true. But I think they're just, alright, you're taking the piss now.
Totally. So while Richard Gere's trying to figure out how to play this, when it's his day to be called as defence, he calls Marty Crane, the state attorney, and everybody freaks the fuck out. They're like, no, you can't have him as a witness. And Richard Gere's like, fucking watch me. And he questions Marty Crane about the investors, about all the money that was lost, about the gangsters that have gone missing. And also brings up that when Marty Crane was the district attorney, not the state attorney, the one below or two below, basically a few of the altar boys came forward about sexual misconduct from the Archbishop, and Marty Crane is basically wiped that, made that case disappear. So he's done a favour for the Archbishop, which is why the Archbishop's been giving him money. Yeah. It's looking dodgy as fuck. And there's Richard Gere's basically trying to pin it on Marty Crane, saying that you lost $60 million because the Archbishop was an arsehole. You've also then covered for him and you've lost money. Yeah. That's fucking motive for murder. And everyone's freaking out. Everyone's like, no fucking way. Oh my God. Like,
he's basically just trying to argue it that there's other people that want him killed.
Yep. And Marty Crane's like that. It basically descends into chaos. Like judges calling for order, everyone's shouting and bawling. It's great telly. Then Richard Gere brings out Frances McDormand, and this is where she makes the reveal, basically, that Aaron and Roy are the same person, and tries to explain multiple personality disorder, which is now called dissociative identity disorder. I understand DID is the modern day term for it, but I'm just saying it how the movie says it. Yeah. So Laura Linney immediately is like, get yourself to fuck. You are not pleading insanity right now. There is no fucking proof that Aaron has multiple personalities. Sit the fuck down. And they're basically trying to laugh Richard Gere out of court. They're like, do you have any video evidence? Do you have any proof at all that this happens? And they dismiss it immediately. Yeah. The judge is like, if you try this shit again, I'm holding you in contempt. Or this pish patter that nobody knows what it means, but you're like, ooh.
The judge says to them, like, you're not pleading insanity here, but you're towing a fine line here. If you start pleading insanity, like, this case is done.
100%. So the tightrope that Richard Gere's walking, like, honestly, the whole time you're watching this, you're like, how's he going to get away with this? Like, this isn't happening. Richard Gere then calls Aaron to the stand and is asking him about his life with the Archbishop, about Linda, about Alex, and all this kind of thing. But in between asking him questions, he's going up to Alex and whispering, like, be a man. What the fuck happened to you?
Yeah.
Really, really trying to goad him into getting angry. And you can see Aaron being like, why are you talking to me like this? And starts riling Aaron up. And then it's Laura Linney's turn to prosecute, basically. And when she goes up there, she is getting so in Aaron's face. She's like, if I was abused like you, I would stab him 78 times and I would blah, 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 blah. And she's riling, and you can see Aaron's fists are starting to go, and you can see the head going in the hands, and you're like, oh, fuck, here we go.
It's really cool that you see the hands in that, like, it cuts in between it, between her fucking slaughtering them.
Berating is a small word for what
like,
she's doing.
You see them, like, shaking in that, and Aaron, but then as soon as he goes calm, you're like, oh, they've not got him. Then next minute, it's just fucking, oh my God, so good.
Yeah. So basically, everything goes silent, and you know when Aaron's about to be Roy, because he, like, it's like the comb over into
his hair. He things his hair back.
Pushes his hair back, and he stands up, and he's like, who do you think you're talking to? Roy just leaps across the witness box, flies at Laura Linney, and he's got her in a chokehold. He's like strangling her, and he's like screaming across to Richard Gere, like, no, I'm not going away for this. I'm not fucking doing this. And Richard Gere's like, Roy, calm down. And everything just erupts into chaos. Like, all the police need to come in, and they, like, finally grab Roy, and Laura Linney's, like, throat's all bruised.
Yeah.
She's basically been strangled. And they cart him off to the jail cell, but you can see him kind of becoming Aaron again.
Once they pin him to the ground, then you sort of see the change.
Yeah, he's like, Marty, what's happening? What's happening? Like, yeah. And you're like, oh no. But because this has happened, because they've basically proven it without saying it, this means that the whole case is thrown out, basically. Aaron will be then sent to a facility to be reassessed, and if it does turn out that he has multiple personality disorder, he'll live out his days basically in a facility and get the medication and the treatment he needs. But this also means that Laura Linney's totally fucked, because the case is lost. Like, the second Richard Gere pulls Marty Crane up on the stand, your man for Lost comes over and is like, you better fucking look for a new job. Like, she's done. Like, no one's... Richard Gere's won, but nobody's really won the case, if you know what I mean.
He's kind of won it by fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Because even she says that even if they didn't have it, nobody's going to retry this.
No.
Like, it's...
Nobody's going to come near this
Yeah,
thing.
it's such a shit show now. Like, Richard Gere's just, like, scotched off this whole case. He's like, if I can't get my guy off, then there's not going to be a winner here.
Absolutely. He's taking, like, because you could see this becoming one of those things where, like, we're taking down the church and we're taking down the state and all this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, no, totally. And, like, Laura Linney's, like, so shaken. Like, and even the judge is like, I'm away home. I'm no dealing with this. Like...
Yeah, she declares it a mistrial.
Yeah.
And on the basis that he goes to... I don't remember if they mentioned where he's going. But it's that then Laura Linney's like, oh, he'll be out in 30 days.
Yeah.
So worst he's going to need to do 30 days in a psychiatric unit.
Yeah, basically, right? So, yank Aaron's in the clear, right? Now, here it comes. Here it fucking comes, trips, right? Richard Gere leaves Laura Linney in the office and walks down to Aaron's cell to basically tell him the news that he's not going to jail. It's a mistrial. He's going to be sent to a facility. And Aaron stands up and he's so grateful and gives him a hug. And he's like, oh, my head's so sore. And as Richard Gere stands up to leave, Aaron basically turns around and says, going to tell Laura Linney that I hope her next... Okay, yeah. I'm paraphrasing trips, right? And Richard Gere walks away and then is like, wait a minute. And comes back and is like, I thought you forgot what happened. I thought you lost time. I thought you didn't realise what was going on. And this is where the motherfucker hits us with a slow clap. And Richard Gere is looking at Aaron and Aaron's like, thanks for getting me off. Like, I'm so glad you figured it out. I thought you weren't going to figure it out there. That's why I kind of hit you with the 1-2. And Richard Gere's like, what?
That's what he's like.
That's exactly what he's like with him. Aaron basically admits to murdering Linda and that nobody's going to know that she disappeared, and calls what he did to the Archbishop his masterpiece. So Richard Gere's fucking horrified, and he's like, you bastard, you played me, so there never was a Roy. And this is where Edward Norton goes, no. There never was an Aaron. And then Richard Gere gets up and walks away. And Edward Norton's in the cell being like, come on, Marty, it's like we were dancing and all this. And you're like, oh, this bastard.
I don't be like that.
No,
oh,
yeah.
So good.
Stop it. And like, see, the first time I watched it, it took me a while to understand what he meant. Like, what do you mean there wasn't a Roy? No, there's not an Aaron. So Edward Norton was always this cold-hearted arsehole, violent arsehole.
He's played Richard Gere beautifully.
100%. Like, oh, honest. And this, it never loses its power, I don't think. Every time you're like, oh, yes. So then Richard Gere, while Edward Norton's screaming all this stuff about Richard Gere's trying to keep a straight face and he's walking out and he knows he's been done. He knows he's been shafted. And he stands in the middle of the courtroom while Edward Norton's screaming all this stuff at him. He's like, oh, you'll get over it. Don't worry about it. He's like, this is just a learning curve and all this. And you can see Richard Gere's like visibly like, what the fuck have I just done here? So as Richard Gere's leaving, he looks out the door, the main door, and sees all of the press and the media and is just like, I can't face that, so decides to leave out the back way of the courthouse.
Yeah.
And this is really where you see Richard Gere's arc of the movie, where like he starts off the movie being this smug, arrogant, I'm only here for the money and the publicity lawyer, to he starts to believe Aaron and he's really trying to get him off, and then he finds out that he's been duped and he's like, fuck. Like, you can really see that he's shaken from what's just went down. Do you know what I mean?
He's always been one of those guys in this that he's got one up on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
He's always got like another plan, another way to get out of something, or like how to sort something, but he's been absolutely like ego checked at this point.
Yeah, there's no way, like, you're not getting around this.
No.
Like, he now needs to live with the fact that he's let a murderer go free. He's been duped.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, that the end of this movie's such a gut punch, man, but like in the best way possible.
Yeah, because it is funny, because through the film, Richard Gere's always like, you don't ask if they done it, doesn't matter. But now he knows, and it's just genius, because like Roy knows that he will not come out and be like, no, this was all a lie, because that just ruins his own career.
Exactly. Like, he's going to need to come out and be like, I was wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think his ego would let him do that.
Absolutely not. Edward Norton is just fucking phenomenal in this movie. Phenomenal.
Oh, easily. Like, easily the best part of this film.
He's not in the movie that much. See, for all the movies about him, he has like, I looked it up, it's like 16 minutes screen time in a 2-hour movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, this should be Richard Gere's movie, but this is Edward Norton's film.
Oh, yeah.
And for it to be Edward Norton's first ever movie, fucking heel toe.
What a way to come out the traps.
Do you know what I mean? And you get so sucked in with the first twist of seeing Aaron and Roy that you're like, oh my God. And then when you find out there was no Aaron, oh my God.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you don't like courtroom dramas or Richard Gere, like, just watch this for Edward Norton.
100%. And it's definitely, see the end of the movie when he says there was no Aaron, it's definitely going to rewind that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, know how when you watch another Edward Norton movie, when you watch Fight Club and you find out that Jack is Tyler Durden, and you need to rewind it and be like, right, come again? Do you know what I mean? It's very that moment. Like, and honestly, like, Edward Norton is such a great actor. I mean, I know now he's a bit douchey and now he's kind of at the phoning it in stage of his career, right? But like at the start of Edward Norton's career, he was very much, I'm going to make a big blockbuster so that I can go and make cool wee indie films, do you know what I mean? Whereas now he's phoning it in, and listen, every actor gets to that stage. It just depends how much you like them, how much you let them get away with it.
Oh, aye.
But Edward Norton's early career especially, you're just like, what a fucking actor. And this movie alone, like if anybody was like, give me an Edward Norton movie to start on, I'd be like, this is his first ever movie. Watch this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, there's an argument that this is like, between this and Fight Club's like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
For that to be your first movie, like, fair dues to you, mate.
100%.
Yeah, he's just, honestly, it's just how quickly he can twist. Like, he turns the whole movie on its head, and he can do it so easily.
And I feel like a character like Aaron / Roy, well, just Roy now. I feel like a character like Roy, when it's written, can be like, oh, that's really cool. But it takes a certain type of actor to elevate that and give you that gut punch moment. Do you know what I mean? Because, and I'll get into it in useless information on who was almost in this film. A lot of them, I'm like, this would be a completely different movie if this was if this happened. Do you know what I mean?
It's just everything he does, and it's like, as soon as Roy comes into it, like the physicality of Edward Norton. Edward Norton's not an imposing dude.
No, not until American History X does he become an imposing dude.
But he has this way of like almost towering over Richard Gere as soon as he turns to Roy, and it's like, that is just like, obviously I'm not an actor, but for an actor to be able to get in and do that, it's incredible to me.
Absolutely. No, totally agree. And I love when you watch movies that have multiple personalities / DID, and it's always one of those ones where it can go so wrong. Robert De Niro in Hide and Seek, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
That's where it goes horribly wrong. And sorry, that was an absolute spoiler for Hide and Seek if nobody's seen it.
Fuck that
but
movie.
Don't fucking watch it, right? But that's where it can go wrong, and it can go so cheesy, and it can be like fucking on a lesser level. Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can get to that level. But it's the subtlety of it. It's like when he pushes his hair back as Roy, when he, like you say, he's not an imposing guy, but he's right up in Richard Gere's face, and you believe that he can assert dominance. And then the second he turns back to Aaron, it's this meek, like, oh, I wouldn't hurt a fly. Like, do you know what I mean? Very Norman Bates kind of thing going on.
100%. Like, for this to work, it has to be believable. Now, fair enough, there is complaints about this movie that is very sensationalised. Like, they've kind of, I know there was a lot of backlash with mental health, like, charities and that with it, but like, you obviously you can't take that aside, but I mean, like, for the actual character, like, it's believable.
Yeah.
I mean, the mental health aspects, that might not be.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm not an expert on this stuff, so I can't say, but like, for this character alone, that is just, it's stunning. Again,
though, see with things like that, now I understand, right? Like, we are in an age now of, like, we have to reflect light and do things like tastefully and as a reflection of what it actually is these days, right? And absolutely shed light on what needs to be shed light on, because there's so many stigmas about these kind of mental health issues because of cinema. But for a mug punter like ourselves, and like a lot of people, like, you're going to watch this movie and you're going to get the point. Do you know what I mean? But again, I understand, but the point has been made, and it doesn't take anything away from it. Do you know what I mean?
I say the character alone is, like, Edward Norton done it, like, amazingly.
And this is such a well cast movie. Like, Laura Linney's great. Richard Gere's great. Richard Gere does what you need him to do, right? Where he carries the movie, but lets people shine, if you know what I mean. Like, this could have been a Richard Gere vanity project. And if again, I know I literally just said it 5 minutes ago, but if it was any other actor apart from Edward Norton, this could have been a bomb. This could have been an absolute bomb. But it's high stakes. Richard Gere does what he needs to do, lets the light go on to other people when it needs to go over there. Like, he's a solid guy that way, Richard Gere. And all of the supporting actors as well. Like, there's not one, but well, there is one, and I'll tell you that when I get to who's in a different movie. But apart from one, everybody else holds their own. Do you know what I mean? But like we've been saying, it's Edward Norton's film, isn't it? Like, and I mean, he's still getting his roses for it. Like, this movie came out in 1996 and people are still talking about it. People are still recommending it. He still gets asked questions about this film. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. And when I get into useless information later on, the impact this movie had in Hollywood before the movie even fucking came out is crazy to me. Like, you're going to be like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, going back to the Richard Gere stuff, is that it works with him being like this, like the main part of it, because the gut punch at the end, like, if
you need the straight face.
yeah, I do think if Edward Norton had more screen time, that it might not be as effective.
Yes.
Like we didn't need. There's a perfect balance. Like, because as I say, you've got Richard Gere being the smarmy git that he is in this, and it's just just to put yourself in his shoes at that moment, like you've lost, and the guy doesn't lose.
Oh no, 100%, 100%.
That's what just makes it so beautiful. Like, but that way is it? Oh, he's going to regret that the rest of his life.
Yep.
It's like, oh no, he deserved to be brought down a peg or two.
Yeah, totally.
It's just chef's kiss, amazing.
So I've got a wee question for you, and you can tell me to fuck off, right? But I want to know what you think would happen after this movie. Like, I'm not saying Primal Fear 2. I just mean, like, do you think he stays a lawyer? Do you think... So at the end of the movie, obviously, him and Laura Linney have their wee, like, intimate moment. And it's like, do you think they give it a go? Do you think he ever tells Laura Linney, by the way, this is what went down? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think this is one of those movies that leaves you questioning things, do you know what I mean? Which I love. I love leaving a film and being able to talk about it for like an hour solid, do you know what I mean?
I think he would need to stay a lawyer because he could never come clean about what happened. Like, it would ruin his career. As for Laura Linney, I don't think they do anything. Nothing comes of it.
Really?
Because he's ruined her. Like, not like career-wise.
No,
like,
totally.
She's never going to get... Like, she's not going to work. Like, you can't... Like, especially after losing a case like that where... As we all know now, it is obvious that he done it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no... Everything was pointing to him doing it. And to get played like that, you can't be in a relationship like that.
And...
You're hiding that secret the rest of your life?
You couldn't tell her, though. I mean, you could, but, like, you couldn't tell her because she would then know everything's your fault of why she can't be a prosecution. I mean, he's obviously like, oh, you should have left Marty Crane years ago. You should set up your own thing. Like, she's permanently going to have the fact that this case went to mistrial over her head, the biggest case that all eyes were on, and he can never tell her, by the way, like, there was never an Aaron, do you know what I mean?
Not even in a professional way, can't tell. In a personal, like, relationships, you can't. But he also can't tell...
anyone.
Yeah, like, he can't tell the people he works with because they said it from the beginning. No, he done it.
Yeah. Everyone knew that he did it except Richard Gere. Yeah. Richard Gere really believed this guy was innocent, and obviously he's not. Do you know what I mean? And I just every time I watch this movie, I always just wonder, like, what happens the next day? Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, does he just go to the pub and get pissed straight after this film and wake up the next day like, what the fuck have I done? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he's still going to have all the magazine stuff and that. He's going to need to do the rounds because he can't just disappear. No,
and he's going to do the rounds after this case anyway of being like, yep, as I proved, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Then, like, what does this case then open up on Marty Crane? Do you know what I mean? Like, this movie, I mean, I'm talking as if it's real life, but you know what I mean? Like, the events that happen in this movie have such a ripple effect onto every character that's in this film.
Thanks,
do you know what I mean? So... like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm pure, like, it's one of those movies where I sit at the end and I'm like, everyone is fucked. Do you know what I mean?
Like, there's no winners here other than Roy. He's played everybody beautifully.
Edward Norton's a fucking genius, do you know what I mean?
The only thing about Roy is that there's not a lot he can do after this.
No.
Like, it's not, well, he's not really he's a murderer. He killed the Archbishop, but he's not going to murder other people now because he's got to be famous in his own right.
Yeah, this was just like a vengeance thing, do you know what I mean?
So I wonder what... I think he just disappears, but then Roy's always that guy, do you know what I mean?
But then, like, obviously he's going to need to continue to pretend that he has DID the whole time he's in this facility or he's facing jail time. Yeah. But I reckon this is just one of those things, like, I understand there's big, huge trials everywhere, but, like, I feel like it's one of those ones like most people would forget about. Do you know what I mean? It would show up on like a true crime fucking YouTube channel years later. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, I think if this was done at the time, because you think of like the OJ stuff and that, it's well remembered, and this was an Archbishop in the Catholic Church. It's not going to be easily forgotten.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so he's just going to need to go and live a fucking quiet life. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he needs to act like Aaron whilst he's in the hospital. But after that, he's free to do what he wants.
Yeah.
Like, he won't obviously go on a mad murder spree because they'll be like, right, hold on a minute.
Aye.
But I do love movies. I was like, what happens in this? Like,
yeah, and it's just nuts. Like, even talking about the hypotheticals, like, I'm sitting up here smile on my face because I'm like, this could go so many ways.
Yeah.
But this is a movie, if they ever wanted to reboot it or do a sequel, I'd be like, get us out, fuck. I don't even want a prequel, mate. Don't touch this film.
No, we don't need it.
Mean?
There's no need for it at all. All right, after all that, let's dive into Let's Go.
Right. Okay, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I mean, my Let's Go is the first twist, isn't it? I know we've literally just sat talking about it for about 10 minutes, but it's the first twist when you find out Aaron is Roy or vice versa. Because you know at that moment the case is on its arse until this happens. Do you know what I mean?
They needed something like that.
Like, they're sitting there being like, fuck, we're losing, and then boof. Do you know what I mean? So, as much as I want the Let's Go to be like, when they find the tape or blah, 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 I'm like, it's got to be just get Edward Norton on the screen.
That's when the case really begins for them.
100%.
And mine's is the exact same.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to have the same favourite scene too. Yeah. End of the movie.
No, mine's is when when Aaron turns into Roy in front of Richard Gere.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
right, okay. Mine's is just the fucking end of the film, man, when he doesn't see from the slow clap to it was like we were dancing, Marty. Yeah. Like, so fucking good. So fucking good.
No, mine's is when he meets him, when Richard Gere meets Roy for the first time.
Yeah. Quit your crying. Be a man. Yeah.
And he just slaps him a couple of times, flings him against the wall. It's like, it's so good.
100%.
Edward Norton just turns it on a dime, man.
100%. So I'll dive into useless information. I do have other bits. Most of the useless information is going to be who was almost in it. Yeah. Because the list of people who were almost in this is fucking crazy. So, obviously, as I said earlier on, this is Edward Norton's movie debut. This was also Gregory Hoblet's directorial debut.
Oh, really?
So, what, like, for both, what a fucking...
what a start.
Do you know what I mean? An alternative ending where Norton is dragged back into the court and justice is served after they find out there was no Aaron was filmed and shown to test audiences, but it was scrapped because everyone was like, nah, we don't need it, we don't want it. People really preferred seeing Richard Gere kind of having a downfall, so they kept it the way it was.
It would be a pointless movie.
I agree. Like, I don't want to see Aaron get dragged in and get justice. Like, I don't care. Like, the pivotal end scene was rewritten several times, but no one in the writing room felt that it was going well. So they let Edward Norton and Richard Gere improvise it and ad-lib over the course of a couple of days.
That's pretty cool.
And the screenwriters would sit in and be like, oh, I like that bit, oh, I like that bit. And basically they all came up with the end scene together. And it fucking works, man. Just let the actors play. Do you know what I mean? Let them do what they're doing.
You're bound to find some gold in it, and they did.
Absolutely. Edward Norton ad-libbed the slow clap on the day.
That's class.
And what a guy. According to psychologists, the dead giveaway for someone faking DID is that there was only one other personality. Apparently, in real cases, the average amount of personalities is between 5 and 6.
Wow.
So, there you go.
Fuck's sake.
When Aaron first transforms into Roy calls Richard Gere Marty. Apparently, this wouldn't be possible as Gere had only introduced himself to Aaron, so Roy wouldn't know who he is. Yeah. So that's your giveaway. This one's a bit daft, right? Primal Fear was released on April 3rd of 1996, and the Mark Wahlberg movie Fear was released on April 12th, 1996. According to the AMC records, they had the highest return rates of 1996 during this month because people were mistakenly buying tickets for the wrong movie.
Oh, that's
so, like,
cool.
People are walking into Marky Mark being like, hey, wait a minute.
Aye. Where's Richard Gere?
Right, here we go. So, over 2,100 actors auditioned for Norton's role, seeing it as career-making, including Chris O'Donnell, who obviously went on to play Robin in Batman and Robin.
What a career, huh?
Sent to a Woman and all that kind of push. James Marsden, Danny Masterton,
Boo.
Right? Like, this movie would be fucking unwatchable. James Vanderbeek.
Fuck's sake. That's terrible.
Listen, that's only just a couple. I mean, how do you go from Dawson's Crack to fucking Primal Fear? Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to wait
For my life to be over. Will Wheaton was offered the role but turned it down to go back to acting school, and has since stated that this is the biggest regret of his career.
Yeah, no shit.
And why his career has never been as successful as he thinks it should have been. Apparently, everyone was telling him he was an idiot. His managers and all that, his agents were like, "What the fuck are you doing? You don't need to go to acting school. You are an actor." And he was like, "No, I want to hone my craft."
Yeah, that's just like fart sniffing.
Yeah,
and
he's totally fucked himself.
Oh yeah.
Pedro Pascal's first ever audition was for this movie.
Wow.
Young Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
No. Casting directors said that after Leo DiCaprio turned down the role, the casting process took a lot longer than anticipated because many actors could portray the psychotic Roy, but not the innocent, naive Aaron. Edward Furlong was also considered, but was seen as too young. Furlong and Norton would then go on to be in American History X 2 years later.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Edward Furlong's another one, like, he got a lot of praise for Terminator 2, and then the older he got, everyone was like, "Oh, you're not that good." But then also he kind of suffered with, like, the drugs and the drink like most of them, eh?
I was going to say, though, Terminator 2, not that good.
Ross, that's a fucking hot take. That is a fucking hot take.
We rewatched it not long ago.
No.
Wasn't that good.
I know. Something about Terminator 2 is just not lived up to what it should be.
Yeah, I never thought I would see myself saying that, but aye.
See, this is the thing, is when Sean comes on to do the Terminator 2 episode, he's going to be like, "What did you say, Ross?"
First one's far better.
Yeah, I'm with you. This one I liked. So, Matt Damon chased the role after missing out on Dead Poets Society. Apparently, between this and Dead Poets Society was like all the younger actors were going for all the same roles, like your Ethan Hawkes and all this kind of stuff. After being passed over for this role and Dead Poets Society, Matt Damon and his friend Ben Affleck decided that they were sick of waiting for great parts to come along, so they wrote a small movie called Good Will Hunting.
Ah, well,
like,
that would do it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine being that pissed off that you missed out on a role. You write Good Will Hunting.
Aye.
How's about them fucking apples? Do you know what I mean?
You get your Oscar that way, I suppose.
But it's just crazy. Like, all the guys who, like, even Jason Lee going for this movie. You had Ryan Gosling going for this movie. You had, obviously, I've already said Chris O'Donnell, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Ethan Hawke was going for this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal went for this movie. God. I know I wouldn't have watched it if it was Jake Gyllenhaal. That. Like, the amount of... Apparently, even Rob Lowe went for this movie, and they were like, "You're a bit too old, Rob Lowe. Like, you've had your time." Do you know what I mean? And I think if they'd have went for... If they went for someone like Rob Lowe, I think that would have been two big actors, if you know what I mean, Richard Gere and Rob Lowe. Whereas I think going for lesser known Edward Norton, and for this to be your opening fucking movie, heel toe.
Yeah, obviously he's went on to like have a very good career, great movies, aside Fight Club and that, but oh man, like what a kickstart. Like
totally
stunning.
And out of see all the actors that were listed, I'm not saying they're not great actors, but they've obviously all went on to do their own thing, and I couldn't see Ben Affleck doing this. There's something about Ben Affleck I can't quite put in place. Do you know what I mean?
I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But like, even like Jake Gyllenhaal and all that, I think Jake Gyllenhaal would have taken it too far. Like, he's quite I'm a shouty man. Do you know what I mean? So no, perfect casting. But I loved the amount of people that went for it and the like ripple effect of what it's had. Do you know what I mean? But even see when I saw Danny Masterton's name up there, I was like, no.
Get yourself to fuck.
And also, I mean, I've never seen Danny Masterton in anything except that 70s show. I don't buy it. I do not buy it at all that he could have done this.
Nah,
apart from the fact that he's an arsehole now.
Yeah, he can rot in jail. Fuck him.
Yeah, totally. Right, we'll dive in.
I don't have many.
I have one.
My only issue, and it's not just with this movie, is that it builds up to the reveal. Like I feel movies that they kind of write themselves into a corner.
Yes.
Like this, you said Sixth Sense, Psycho, there's so many of us that the twist is the whole point.
But Psycho, you didn't know the twist was the whole point at the time. Obviously,
No, but
now
that-
you know that the twist is the point. Not the point, but you know what I mean. Like, but fucking moviegoers in the 60s, they thought they were going to see fucking Janet Leigh on a spree. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I mean, is that...
Janet Leigh?
Yeah, Janet Leigh.
Aye.
Once you have that, you don't... Wait, what's your movie then? Do you get what I mean?
See, but you're very like that. You're very like, if a movie has a pure... Like, you don't like Sixth Sense because you were like, once you've seen it, you don't need to watch it again.
Yeah.
But that to me is mad. Like, I think if a twist is great, like your Fight Clubs and all this kind of stuff, it brings something new to the movie every time. Because I think when we watch this movie, knowing the twist, you spot little things, you can see the little things, and you anticipate that you're looking forward to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we watched this movie and we were like, oh, it's the bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look forward to it.
Oh, no, I look forward to the performances and that. It's just the story of it is that it's all just going to this one point.
And then where do you go from there? Right, okay.
Like, because I do feel that the ending is a bit, it just happens and it's done.
I get what you mean. But then again, where do you go from that? Do you know what I mean? You've already had one twist. The audience has sat back down and been like, cool, I'm with you. And then you hit us with that. Like, where do you go from that?
That's what I mean. I think that's a problem with when you do stuff like this.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you can't really have closure on it because what do you do?
I get you. But no. Like, not for me. I understand what you mean about that, because some movies, looking at you, M. Night Shyamalan, who has twists, like his twists are his gimmick now. Do you know what I mean?
He does them badly. I feel Sixth Sense had it, but it's been cheapened by him doing it with every other one. Yeah,
people only go to Shyamalan movies these... Like, I don't know anyone who's an actual fan of Shyamalan, but...
How can you be?
Well, that's the thing, is everyone that I've spoke to goes to Shyamalan movies to see what the twist is. Like, you and me were going to go and see that Josh Hartnett one, and then somebody was like, no, the twist's in the trailer, mate. Don't bother. Like... Yeah,
well, basically the twist is that it's all hanging for the beginning. It's bollocks.
But that's the thing as well, is like, this is why trailers are shit, because someone like Shyamalan banks on you coming to see his movie for the twist, and you've just shown us it.
But yeah, I just feel like I don't know how at the writing stage whether this was all planned or what, I'm not sure, but if you have that in mind, is that you can't really, you're kind of rigid in how you need to structure your film.
Absolutely, because I think if you're going to have a twist, and not even this has two twists in it, you need to be concrete in what you're doing, because if your story has too many plot holes, the twist's going to fall apart immediately. Like, I know I said it earlier on, but Hide and Seek with Robert De Niro, that movie is so full of plot holes that when it's revealed, you're like, what? Like, it's so shit. Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's done more like bad than good.
Yes.
But for this movie, I accept it, but it's the performances I'm in on.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to stuff like that for stories, I'm just, right, I've seen it now. The first time I could be like, oh my God, that's amazing. But after that, I'm like, right, I know this now. Like, it has to be performances for me.
Right, fair enough.
I've just thought another one there as I was thinking about this.
Oh, we're getting off the cuff?
Right. See the investigators for Richard Gere, like Andre Braugher.
Captain Alton Abbey for me.
Yes.
Yep.
How do they get away with doing what they're doing? Because
like no warrants in that. Yes. They're just like in apartments. They're chasing people down. Like
he pulls a gun on that kid because he's trying to run away.
Yeah.
They don't have any right to hold him.
And like that's even like, see how when they stop Alex and Alex is like, there's a tape like of a home video, and it's like, you can't, this is surely admissible because you've not got this confession or this evidence in any other way. Like, they're sneaky bastards. But fair enough, like, I mean, obviously Richard Gere's not above any underhand patter, but I'm totally with you. Like, they're just straight up like going into hussies, looking up records. Like,
If the judge was to have asked, how did you get this tape, and find out that he's stolen it?
Yes.
Without that case would have been thrown out anyway.
Yep.
No, he'd have been disbarred. He'd have just ruined everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're so like lackadaisical with the law in this movie for being a courtroom drama, I know all courtroom dramas are the same. They need to have their big, like, they're all a bit dodgy the way they do it. Like, don't do that in real life, anybody. Like, you will go to fucking jail or get disbarred.
Don't do it.
But, aye, like that, I just don't do it. Fuck, he pulled a gun on that kid. How does he get away with that?
My only A of this film, and it's not even an A, it's just something that drives me nuts, is Laura Linney in this movie smoking the bingo snout, having 3 draws and throwing them away. Like, how much money do you fucking make, Laura Linney? But that's because we're talking 2025 smoking prices. 96, probably not that big a deal.
But I wonder how much a district attorney got paid in the 90s.
I always think of that, right? Because, like, obviously, like, these top class lawyers, they're making bank, right? But seeing, like, any, like what's the one, You Can't Handle Vermouth? Tom Cruise, Demi Moore.
Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Where, like, they're all in Tom Cruise's house, like, eating Chinese, sorting out the case. And I'm like, it's fucking midnight. I'm not working at midnight. But then I suppose yous are making bank. I'm no. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, just a quick search. A district attorney would only make between 50 and 80,000.
But that's in 90s conversion. Do you know what I mean? Like, things were cheaper in the 90s.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, inflation. Do you know what I mean?
But they make too much. She wasn't that good at her job either. She got
she was shite at her job.
Yeah, she got led hook, line and sinker into every trap that he set.
She'll be smoking the rollies after that. You can't afford reals now.
I learned how to roll hen.
Do you have a worst guy whose hairline, Jason?
Richard Gere.
Oh, really? Right, okay.
I mean,
I'm sad.
He just is. Like, look at the way he acts and all that, and they just said, like, just so full of himself. And just it's satisfying just to see him, like, just, fuck you.
Yeah, I like the other side plot in this movie is Richard Gere getting interviewed for, like, a piece about the gangsters, getting the gangsters off of...
Yeah, pretty much why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Because it is, I imagine it's a scummy, like, nobody wants to defend these guys unless they're paying you a boatload of money.
Yeah, totally. So some journalist is, like, following about, trying to do, like, a kind of... Not an expose, but like a piece about
It's just a magazine piece,
Yeah. And, like, at the start, Richard Gere's very much like, nah, my version of the truth is the only version that matters and blah, 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 blah. And it's only just before you find out about the Aaron and Roy thing when Richard Gere goes, nah, like, I used to work somewhere else. I made a horrible mistake. I've came here. I will make sure that innocent people go free. Kind of thing. Yeah. Like, he does really start to kind of change over, but no, I totally get you. Mine's is Marty Crane. As much as it pains me to say it, Marty Crane is such an arsehole in this movie.
It's funny, isn't it? Because when you see Marty Crane, just like, oh, it's him then. That's a kick in your stones, man.
It's it. Because every time I see him, I'm like, oh, it's Marty. And then he was like being such a dick to Laura Linney, and I was like, fair.
Aye.
And I can't remember off the top of my head what the other movie is where he's the bad guy in, but we watched it and we were both like, holy shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Marty Crane should have done so much more villain roles, but then again, he probably did, and I'm just so used to seeing him as Marty Crane and Frasier that I'm like, no.
Yeah, even if he didn't, he had Frasier. I mean, he's not worried.
Aye, you're fine, my guy. You're absolutely fine.
Aye.
Who's in a different movie?
Oh, Edward Norton.
Oh, really? Right, okay.
Okay. Easy.
Right, okay.
Like, I mean, first of all, he plays 2 roles in this movie, and they're so different than all, like, the stuffy lawyers or these hotshot lawyers that it's got to be him.
Yeah. See, I've went down a different route from you. So you're obviously saying Edward Norton in a good way.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
He's like, I've went for the judge, the woman from Desperate Housewives, because everything I see her in, she is so stone-faced. Like, her face she gives me nothing. There is nothing going on behind the eyes. So I think she's the weakest actor in the movie. Therefore, I'm putting her in a different movie.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. The one thing, it bothers me, why does she always have a drink in her hand?
Aye, I'll kick out, put the whiskey down. Yeah. That's how everybody's getting off scot-free.
She plays very fast and loose with the court rules.
Ain't it? I'm just going to sit and get pissed while you're all talking about this murder case.
Aye, you know what? Fuck it, I'll give you that.
Anything I've seen her in, I've not liked her in. I don't know if she is given the performance of her life, but it's just not coming through the face. Do you know what I mean? She's had a successful career though, and I haven't, so who the fuck am I? Do you know what I mean? But there's just something about her that gives me the fear, and she gives me nothing. Do you know what I mean?
She looks like a woman that's just walked into a lift that's been farted in. That is it. It's just that pure contempt and disgust.
100%.
Nah, I'll give you that. No, I'm in.
100%. 100%. She gives big ma energy.
Yeah.
Are you out at any point? Nah. See, right. I'm not out. I think this movie's fucking class. But maybe for the first 15 minutes, it maybe takes me a bit longer to put my phone down. But I feel like that with a lot of law thrillers and law dramas, I enjoy them when I put them on, but it takes me a minute. Because you know what they're like law movies, it's always the first half an hour is just a lot of pish. Do you know what I mean? Just a lot of exposition and oh well, this is the case and blah blah blah. The one I hate is Runaway fucking Jury. And if one more person tells me I'm wrong in that Runaway Jury's class, no, I haven't done it.
I do get what you mean about the law dramas. The one thing it's not a movie, the show I think does it right is Law and Order.
Yeah.
Where they don't really bog you down with all the details about what had, it showed you the arrest and then it shows you the court. I do think some of them could also dumb it down for us a little bit.
I agree.
Because believe it or not, I don't know a lot about US court laws because I'm no fader.
Never been to court in my life.
Aye.
Don't plan on it. Do you know what I mean?
Don't even know anything about the British court system. I've never been in, really been in one, so...
I just know I got a fucking jury citation
Aye.
all the fucking time.
Got it.
But I feel like the law, when you get a really good law thriller, like A Few Good Men, I'm even going to throw in Exorcism at Emily Rose. Do you know what I mean? That's a law thriller and horror movie all in one. When you've got A Time to Kill, you've got The Lincoln Lawyer, a lot of Tom Cruise is in a lot of these fucking movies, by the way. Sorry, I'm just having a quick Google because I'm what is a law movie? But then you also get ones like Devil's Advocate and all this. Obviously, My Cousin Vinny. Everybody loves My Cousin Vinny. And I do always feel in a law drama, the trial is the point. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
and obviously in every single one, there's all this shit happening outside. But the moment is the fucking trial.
Yeah, that's the payoff.
And I do feel you get a lot that's oh well,
for them to work, you need first of all an interesting enough case or story.
Yes.
You need the person on trial. You need to kind of almost care or root for them in a sense.
Yep.
And you need the lawyers to be good.
Yep.
Some of them don't have any of that, and it falls apart very quickly.
Yeah, the only reason I know the phrase double jeopardy is because of the Tommy Lee Jones movie. And that's not even a law thriller. That's just him and Ashley Judd running about.
Oh, there'll be so many things we think happens in courts and that just because of movies.
Yeah, 100%. So I know this is normally the point in the podcast where we have a 0 out of 10. You just heard we're 0 out of 10 last week, Trips. We've actually not watched any Shanner movies. We've kind of been on a documentary spree this week.
You know what, we'll just say hide and seek, because that movie's shit.
Yeah, fucking hide and seek, man. I forgot all about that movie until we fucking started talking about it now. If nobody's seen it, don't fucking bother. So basically, Robert De Niro plays Dakota Fanning's dad. Her mum kills themselves. They move out to... Was it the family summer home or something?
Aye, something like that, vacation home. It's a lot of shit.
Yeah, and Your Bird is the psychologist in it. Kills men worth eyes and Goldeneye. Big Famke Janssen, right? Famke Janssen is Dakota Johnson. No,
aye, that's a weird movie.
I know, right? Is Dakota Fanning's psychologist, and she keeps talking about David, and David does this, and all this stuff breaks, and it's David, and it kind of sets itself up as almost a haunted house movie or a poltergeist movie.
Yeah.
No, it turns out Robert De Niro's had a mental fucking breakdown and is David and is murdering everybody round about, and Dakota Fanning's having to cover for him. Lot of pish.
Aye, bollocks.
And then the end of the movie, just to save you all time, is Basically, the whole movie, Dakota Fanning's been drawing all these pictures about what's been happening, and oh, there's David in the cupboard, and oh, there's this, and blah, 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 right? She goes away, she lives with Famke Janssen, and the end of the movie zooms in on a photo that she's drawn of her and Famke Janssen in a playground, and then this, like, dark, shadowy wee lassie beside her, and it's like, oh, get fucked.
Aye, shite.
Yeah, hide and seek is shite. I forgot all about that movie until we started talking about this, and now I'm annoyed about it. That and fucking Disturbia.
Yeah.
Because they came out at the same time.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, this has been our Primal Fear episode. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye!
Bye!
It's like we're dancing, Marty.